Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Hope you had a great weekend. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, August 7th.
Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us. If you've been outside, not too bad yet. We're still at 82 degrees.
It's the mad scramble to get errands run before things really start heating up yet again, Justin Horn.
Hey, you got to work fast. You got to work quick. Hey, I want to check in on my friends over in Del Rio. Okay, this has been a wild summer here in San Antonio, but I want to show you these numbers now coming in for the city of Del Rio. Yesterday, they got up to 110. Okay, that's 7 days now this year. They've been at 110 plus. The previous record was 2 days where they had 110 plus. You got to go back to last year. So they have spent several days here above that number. And to top it all off, they got up to 115 on June 21st, hottest all time. So the records are just falling day by day there in Del Rio. Pretty incredible to see those numbers. And we know how it feels here in San Antonio, too. Not quite that hot, but we're going to be up around 105 today. There is a cold front across Texas, not here, but up across North Texas, bringing some rain to parts of Oklahoma and far west Texas this morning. That front puts on the brakes, of course, and doesn't really make it any further south. So south of that front is where all the heat will be today. San Antonio, Austin, up to about Midland and Abilene. North of that, it actually is quite a bit cooler. You look at the highs. 90 at Amarillo today. That's like winter time, it feels like. 88 Oklahoma City. But you go south of that front, 104 in Dallas, 106 in Austin, 105 here in San Antonio, and 109 in Laredo. Our KSAT 12-hour forecast, noontime 93. There's the 105 somewhere around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. We'll call for sunny skies. Winds won't be too terribly strong, but we've got to watch out for that fire concern, too. We're going to talk all about that coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But, yes, temperatures are on their way up. It's going to be a hot one, Stephen. How are things looking out on the roadways this morning?
Well, Justin, we had some problems over here along 35 at O'Connor. Let's get a wider look. You still see a lot of congestion over in the north and southbound lanes. Really, the problems were detected along those northbound lanes, and traffic's actually moving a lot better, despite the fact that we still see plenty of vehicles out there. This was that crash I mentioned earlier, just before GMSA wrapped earlier this morning. We did have a major crash reported, and according to our friends over at KSAT, what they were reporting was that it was a crash in the northbound lanes where 2 right lanes were actually blocked near Weidner Road. Now, traffic was being diverted to the frontage road, and in fact, one of our colleagues was traveling through this area and also spotted some crime tape out there. So we have reached out to the San Antonio Police Department, and as soon as they tell us exactly what was going on, we'll be sure to let you know. But as always, we hope everyone is doing okay. You can still see a lot of that congestion is the problem right now. And if you are trying to make your way up 35, maybe in those northbound lanes, just bear this in mind. We actually have about a 27-minute commute just to get to New Braunfels, right around that 35-410 interchange. So just pack some patience if you still have to travel through that area. I'm not seeing any severe delays, but a lot of congestion still remains out there, as you can see right there at 35 at O'Connor. But there's also plenty of road work taking place in our area, so scan this QR code. That takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. It's a new week, so we have a new week of closures. Head over to our website and plan your commute ahead of time. There's a lot happening in and around the Alamo City, so always good to know before you have to hit the roads, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Top story this morning, people at one apartment complex are waking up in different environments and witnessing unusual sights.
That's all after a massive fire that destroyed an entire building, driving about 20 families out of their homes.
That's right. Katrina Weber is at the apartment complex on Gus Eckert near Fredericksburg Road and tells us the big question is, how did this fire start?
It really doesn't seem that investigators have had a chance to start heading down that road to figuring out what caused this fire. As you can tell from the damage, it was very destructive. And it seems that what we have seen here this morning at the Frederick Apartments has been focused on making sure that this fire doesn't start up again. Now, that fire did have a head start on firefighters. They found huge flames coming from the building when they got here before 9 last night. The fire, though, was only part of the challenge. Fire Chief Charles Hood says that crews had to battle against the strong winds and deal with hydrants that weren't working properly. He says they struggled to pump water uphill from other hydrants nearby. But all of that, he says, caused delays, allowing the fire to cause a whole lot of damage. Firefighters believe they were able to evacuate everyone from the building, and they say they had no reports of anyone missing. About 20 families in all lost their homes in this fire. I did speak with one woman who says she was able to stay with some friends here at this apartment complex, but she says others were helped by the American Red Cross. Neighbors here are waking up and actually getting their first look at the damage in the daylight, and many are stunned by what they see, an entire building lost. Reporting from the Northwest Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And here's today's 9 at 9.
Former President Donald Trump and his attorneys have until 5 p.m. today to respond to a request by federal prosecutors for a protective order in the latest criminal case against him. The Justice Department charged Trump with 4 criminal counts related to allegations that he attempted to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump has pleaded not guilty.
A hearing date has been set for August 22nd to determine if the floating barriers set up on the Rio Grande are legal. The Justice Department is asking for a preliminary injunction and wants the barriers removed in Eagle Pass. Governor Greg Abbott says the barriers are part of the state's efforts to curb migration from the southern border. DOJ says Texas deployed the barriers without authorization and workers should remove them.
FEMA and the FCC announced that a nationwide emergency alert test will take place in early October on TV, radio, and cell phones. This is only the second time cell phones have been a part of this testing. The purpose of it is to make sure all systems are prepared in case a national emergency needs to be sent out to the public.
Hiring is slowing down a bit across the country, and that could ease the pressure on the Fed to continue raising interest rates. The Labor Department says employers added 187,000 jobs last month. That's less than half of last year's average monthly growth.
Letting workers work from home at least part of the week may be the key to attracting new hires. A study by 2 tech companies shows that companies that allow at least one day of remote work a week boosted staffing levels at nearly twice the rate of employers that require people to be in the office every day.
While inflation in general has cooled down, prices for food are still rising fast. That's due to several reasons, including the Russian war in Ukraine disrupting grain exports and recent unusually hot weather. Food prices in June were up more than 4.5% compared to a year ago.
Google is now offering a grammar check tool. Users just enter a sentence or phrase into the search bar, along with the words grammar check. The tool uses AI to analyze the language and make sure everything is correct. For now, it's only available in English.
2 new features are coming to Threads. Meta chief Mark Zuckerberg has announced a web version of his new social network so users can access it on their desktops. The text-based platform is also getting a more comprehensive search function.
In just 3 weeks in theaters, Barbie is hurtling past $1 billion in worldwide ticket sales. The movie piled up another $53 million from North American movie houses this weekend, say studio estimates. Despite bad reviews, the shark sequel Meg 2: The Trench came in second place with $30 million. And in third place in its third week, Oppenheimer added about $28 million to its sales. And that's today's 9 at 9. 80 Morning Headlines. Families of the victims of the Uvalde shooting still waiting on answers. And the skyline in Garland near Dallas painted with fire.
The president putting together a plan to cut down on cyber attacks against schools and too much equipment for an ATM theft. Our David Sears is here with the morning headlines.
Sometimes thieves just outthink themselves, I think.
Probably.
We'll show you that in just a second, but first let's start with this. It has been well over a year since the shooting in Uvalde. Family and friends still waiting for some answers as to why it took so long for officers to respond, and with a quicker response, would their loved one have been saved? The Cassars family, for one, waiting for answers about their daughter Jackie, one of 19 killed. A medical panel was put together by DPS. They are supposed to be conducting a casualty analysis. According to ABC News, the panel needs to look at crucial information like autopsies to decide if the delayed response by law enforcement actually cost lives. The problem, the district attorney, Christina Mitchell, has not released any of the information the panel needs. When Jackie was found with a gunshot wound, she still had a pulse. She was rushed to the hospital but later died. The delay, could it have caused her death?
Because of her wounds, she would have bled out quickly. And because of that, we know it had to be at least 30, 40 minutes after the initial gunfire that she got shot.
I know that investigations take time, but damn it, if you need help, ask for help. Let's get out there and get some work done and communicate with the families and the general public. Where are we at today? Where's your timeline?
I feel like I haven't done enough for her. I haven't. She deserves it. She deserves justice.
ABC did ask the DA to respond, but nothing yet. Even when the panel gets the information, they're looking for it to take several months before any answers. And you are looking at a fire at a Sherwin-Williams paint plant in Garland, a suburb of Dallas, and watch the middle of your screen. Huge explosion. There were several more after that one. There was even an electrical arc. This all started about 1:45 this morning. Several units responded to the scene. Hazmat crews also called to the site. As of now, the local fire department up there says the fire is out, but several roads around the area are still closed. One person was treated at the scene. All of the employees were evacuated and accounted for. And so far, no air quality warnings. However, those living around the plant are encouraged to report anything that doesn't smell right. And just as schools start up for the new year, President Joe Biden has let us know that he is concerned about an increase in ransomware attacks on schools. He has convened a meeting that includes superintendents and education technology experts to try to come up with a better way to protect schools with an increase of cybersecurity. They're going to create a council that will work with government and schools. The White House says at least 8 states were victims of ransomware attacks at schools last year. There was some sensitive information stolen, like medical records. ATM, forklift. Later, the forklift driver tries to put it on the back of the truck, but having a problem right there. The pickup truck driver took off eventually with the ATM in the back and then lost it in the middle of the road. This all happening in Sacramento. One county sheriff says this attempt wasn't something new for him.
Again, I don't know how well this was thought out, but they did have some sort of plan going on. I've been doing this job for 18 years. I really can't think of the time someone actually successfully grabbed an ATM machine and got away with it.
Have you ever seen anything like this, though?
No, this is unique.
Yeah, it's a different way to try to take an ATM. No word on if the would-be thieves have been caught yet, but, you know, so it was sort of well planned. It was, you know, they did not say, and I'm wondering where they got the forklift. Did they steal the forklift?
Right.
See what happens.
I'm guessing,
Yeah.
but you know, they didn't say where the forklift came from.
A couple of different crimes there, including stupidity.
Yeah.
All right, David, thank you very much.
Is that a crime?
Not
yet.
Not yet.
9:10, 82 degrees.
All right, Edgewood ISD starting their new school year today. After the break, we're going to check in with Tiffany Huertas out at Memorial High School covering their first day of school.
It is the start of the new school year for Edgewood Independent School District students, and there are many programs for students, including one that's preparing them for a career in education.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from Memorial High School to tell us more about this program and how the district is keeping kids safe at school. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Stephanie and Mark. The staff here was so excited welcoming the students back this school year, and the superintendent of schools, we also spoke with him. He's excited about the different opportunities this year. Now, more than 8,000 students are heading back here to Edgewood ISD. The superintendent of schools says they have an early college high school program focused on education that will change lives. Safety also remains a top priority this school year.
A couple years ago, a lot of our staff got together and said, let's start a teacher program that is a pipeline straight out of our high schools into the Alamo colleges.
Aside from all our officers being trained in active shooter response training, we have a specialized unit of officers that are SWAT certified. They're special weapons and tactics. We have our own unit that kind of advances them in being prepared to respond.
Quiroga says they have 26 officers and hope to get more this school year and more funding for that. And he says, remember, if you see something, say something. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Tiffany.
We also wanted to mention that Lavernia ISD also started school today, but here's a look at other school districts that beginning our new school year this week.
That's right. Tomorrow is the first day of school for Jourdanton ISD. Then Wednesday, it is the first day for all IDEA public schools, Lytle ISD, Pleasanton ISD, and South San ISD.
Bernie ISD starts school on Thursday of this week. For a look at the full list of start dates for schools in our area, just head on over to KSAT.com.
And some of the bigger school districts in San Antonio do not start school until next week or even later. So if you still need to get school supplies, you can take advantage of tax-free weekend beginning on Friday and ending on Sunday.
Time for a look at the forecast, and Justin is here at the desk, and he's got a picture that kind of captures the scene from firefighting efforts this weekend.
It was busy, right?
Yes.
We started to see some of those grass fires pick up, but a lot of the focus was in Hayes County, and I want to show you, yes, a picture. Now, these are Blackhawks, I believe, that are picking up some of the water and just delivering it to these fires as quickly as they can, trying to cover a lot of real estate here, and this is one way they do that. But yes, very busy this weekend, and as we look at where that fire and what the status is on it now, it's up there near Wimberley, keep in mind, and this is according to the Forest Service. They're calling it the Oak Grove fire. It's 400 acres, 50% contained. So I think they've pretty much got it under control here. It's not growing in acreage, but it's still fighting that fire. It's right along the Blanco River there, just east of Wimberley, and the terrain there does not make it easy. So that's why they have to have some of those helicopters and things like that to help fight this blaze. Just goes to show you that our fire concerns are growing. So dry out there. You know that. You've seen your lawn. You know the situation, but the risk today is still there. And it's in a very high category as you get up into the hill country, those places where we've already seen grass fires. And you go out west, same story. So all these areas are going to be under the gun again today. We've got to be so very careful. Obviously, no outdoor burning. You got to think about things like that. And with temperatures the way they are this afternoon and relative humidity the way it's going to be, we look at the numbers. Relative humidity drops down into the 25% range as we get into the afternoon. And that puts us in that fire danger category. Now, winds aren't going to be terribly strong, but because it is so dry, that's why the risk is as high as it is. And speaking of dry, we've only received 1.08 inches of rain since June 1st. That's nearly 5 inches below average. And since January 1st, we're at 12.92, down about 6 inches now. We did so well in April and May, so we've fallen quite a ways now over the summer just because of our current weather pattern. 82 right now. Dew point is at 72. Heat index is at 87. Southerly winds at 15 miles per hour. Dew points are in the 70s right now, so it is very, very sticky out there, but these numbers come down pretty significantly by the afternoon, probably dropping into the low 60s. At the moment, though, the heat index still in the upper 80s, still feels like it's close to 90 in a few spots, and the heat index will probably jump up into the triple digits by noontime, so keep that in mind. And we look at the forecast temperature today, somewhere around 105. That's where we were yesterday. Everybody, and I mean everybody in our viewing area, will be 100 plus today. Some of the hot spots, Del Rio, Carrizo Springs, where they could close in on 110 this afternoon. It's going to be another CPS Energy yellow day. No surprise here. You got to conserve energy between 3 and 8 p.m. Checking the ERCOT grid as well. It's a close call there. So it's going to be another one of those days where the entire grid across the state is taxed. We are at 42 days, if you count today, which we're very confident that we'll get above 100 today. We're at 42 days, so solely in fourth place now. And we'll be climbing. We'll be climbing. It'll still be a question of whether or not we get into the top 3 spots. We don't want to, but the way the forecast is looking, we're going to get awful close. Here's the extended forecast. 104 Tuesday, 105 Wednesday. I think our hottest days, if you want to call them that, I mean, it's hot across the board here, but Thursday, Friday, high pressure really could get centered over top of us and boost our temperatures. But it's triple digits all the way through. And coming up here at 9:30, we're going to take a look at the ERCOT forecast. We're also going to look at the threat for severe storms across the East Coast today. It's growing. Places like the nation's capital could see quite a bit of severe weather today. I'm worried about how that could affect flights later on today into tonight. Could be a problem. Yeah.
A lot of people may be traveling back for the start of school.
You're exactly right. And I would not be surprised if there's delays.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
920, 83 degrees.
We'll be right back with another issue that parents should talk to their kids about as they head back to school.
As you prepare for your kids to go back to school, experts say you need to put a tough conversation on the checklist. Educating your children about fentanyl.
Fentanyl is 50 times more potent than heroin, and an amount the size of a pencil tip can be deadly. It has made its way into every other type of drug without users knowing it.
Courtney Friedman spoke with a grieving mother and a substance abuse expert who told her it's time to be honest with your kids.
Danica Summer Caprosi was 17, about to graduate high school with the full life ahead of her.
She's allergic to certain foods that was causing her body pain.
Her mom, Veronica, said Danica may have tried to self-medicate with pills she got through Instagram.
So she took what she thought was a Percocet and did not wake up.
She died July 20th last year, and since then, Veronica has been on a mission
To save a life, so other mothers are not sitting here in front of a camera telling their story of their child.
Her advocacy has landed her in front of Governor Greg Abbott, State Rep John Lujan, and has her visiting schools educating students about fentanyl.
Is the #1 killer of 18 to 50-year-olds in the United States.
It kills over 150 people a day, the same number that fills an average commercial airplane. Peter Pereno is the CEO of Burning Tree Programs, running substance abuse facilities in Texas. Fentanyl has overtaken his work and personal life. He lost a close friend to fentanyl just last week.
Got some pills off of the street, which he didn't think was fentanyl. And, he's dead. I had a friend a year ago, was on medical marijuana, ran out, went and bought some marijuana off the street. It was tainted with fentanyl, and he died.
He says it's now laced into every type of drug, and that's what he tells his 16-year-old son.
You don't want to try and scare your kids. You just want to provide them with the facts, right? Every time they use drugs, they're rolling the dice. They're playing Russian roulette.
Talk to them. Be sincere. Don't yell at them.
They both say every teenager should be carrying Narcan with them so they can help reverse an overdose if they see one.
I need parents to talk to their children because they need to hear me, hear my cries.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
And looking ahead, a new episode of the Texas Crime Stories podcast is dropping tomorrow. So here's a look at what listeners can expect.
A serial killer who eluded justice for decades as he was in and out of prison since the 70s.
With his recent arrest and chilling admission of more murders, the investigation takes a new turn, reopening cold cases that could hold the key to uncovering the full extent of his gruesome crimes.
Join us as we dig deep into the past, present, and future of this haunting case, shedding light on the failures of the justice system that has left the families of the victims suffering.
Here's a serial killer that justice was not served. So there's a travesty of justice total in this case.
We unravel the disturbing details of a murderer who repeatedly slipped through the cracks of the justice system.
This is Texas Crime Stories, The Austin Caller, unveiling of a serial killer.
And the full episode is out tomorrow. You can check it out on KSAT.com or our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts.
926, 83 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a look at one of the big matchups, part of the second annual KSAT Pigskin Classic. David Sears will be back to preview the Southside versus Somerset game happening on the 26th.
But before that, a fascinating story of what a couple uncovered when they decided to buy a home in Wilson County to remodel.
Everything was in a state of dilapidation.
We want to make sure that's part of the history we tell of the house.
All right, what they found about their home's interesting history when we come back.
Hey, welcome back. It's 9:30 and the sun is out. It's nice to see the sun, but we just wish the sun wasn't so hot.
Is it nice to see? Well, okay, it is.
Yeah.
There's one cloud there. I mean, one.
Hanging on.
And that's going to go away quickly. A lot of sun today. It is going to be another probably record-setting day. We start with a look across the country, and something has changed. A lot of the country is actually enjoying some cooler weather. A front is making its way down into Texas, but as you might have guessed by now, it does not make it all the way down here. Places like Oklahoma City this morning, 68. But look at the temperature right now in Dallas, 90. That's the difference that front is making. It stalls out across North Texas. Lubbock at 74, which doesn't sound that cool, but it is actually a pretty big change for those folks. 71 in Amarillo. South of that front, you got 80s, and a lot of places starting to push 90. We obviously are going to be south of that front today. Temperatures are already on their way up. 83 in New Braunfels, but it feels like 90. Heat indices jumping into the 80s there in the Hill Country, and here in San Antonio, it feels like 87 at this point. Our forecast today, 105. The feels like number, though, could go as high as 107. We do have heat advisories in place, excessive heat warnings in spots, and of course that high fire danger as well. There's also a risk for some severe weather, not here, but across the East Coast later today. A pretty big risk. In fact, we're going to show that to you coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. They lost 5 family members all at once, and now they're putting their pain aside to make sure their loved ones are remembered.
2 women and 3 children died 2 weeks ago after a massive fire consumed their Northside home. It is the deadliest house fire in more than a decade here in San Antonio.
Now, the grandfather, the sole survivor of that fire, just woke up in the hospital a few days ago.
Avery Everett sat down with the 2 sisters in the family who say they're finding hope by holding on to each other.
I called her Easy Niecy, Silly Lily, Gaby Baby.
Saving every memory they can.
These are some photos of our sister and the kids.
Sisters Cynthia Valadez and Audrey Alexander say they're holding on to the last pieces of their family.
I love all of them so much.
This is some of what's left after a deadly house fire on Winding Oak Drive took their 50-year-old mother Felicia, 29-year-old sister Sylvia, and Sylvia's 3 kids, 12-year-old Gabriel, 10-year-old Lily, and 6-year-old Isabella.
None of it feels real.
One survivor, their grandfather, Fernando, still fighting to recover after a severe case of smoke inhalation.
Our family's always been important.
Yeah.
Through good and bad, we've always just been a real tight family.
It's like a rock.
Literally.
And it's comforting to know the impact that each one of them individually had on people.
They knew how much their mom loves them.
She literally did anything, like everything for them.
2 weeks later, this family is finding strength in one another.
Everybody has their own way to grieve. There's no right or wrong. The only thing you can do wrong is keep it to yourself.
Photos and drawings might only be what's left.
This is the kids' artwork.
But these sisters say memory still makes this family full.
You can choose. You can choose to remember this like one incident that is life-changing, or you can choose to remember like the blessing of like getting to just know these people and that we are a part of them and they're a part of us. And yeah, just honoring that memory and just really tapping into like knowing that they are still here.
It's remembering an accident, but it's also remembering the impact that they had before the accident.
That was KSAT's Avery Everett reporting. Now, the home that was lost has been in that family for more than 2 decades. It's now boarded up, and those sisters say it'll be another month of investigating as to what happened early that morning.
When a couple bought a new home in Wilson County, they did not realize they had purchased an ex-slave plantation, and the pair decided to learn more about the history of that home and renovate it. Jesse Dogoyado explains why the owners are being upfront about the history of the Whitehall Poly Mansion.
Drivers speeding by may not even notice the 2-story house, yet its wide porches seem to beckon visitors. Sit a while and enjoy the breeze at historic Whitehall Poly Mansion. A retired military couple, Keith and Robin Michalek, had already bought a home nearby when they saw this in 2014.
We did not know what this building was. We thought it was a dance hall.
Everything was in a state of dilapidation.
And I said, I'll come back to Texas if this could be our retirement project.
Old house, like it, let's fix it up. We had a lot of energy like 6 years ago.
Robin Michalek says it made perfect sense.
We've always loved old houses. We love history. We love community. We love antiques.
It certainly took plenty of both love and energy to take on decades of neglect.
It took 1.5 years just to pick up trash.
There were 6 abandoned cars. Luckily, the previous owner took most of them with him.
But by then, they'd begun to uncover what time had seemingly forgot.
Oh my goodness, this is a historic gem.
Says so on the historic marker. The house was built in the late 1840s by Joseph Pauley, one of the original settlers brought to Texas by Stephen F. Austin. Yet what it doesn't say.
If you read that marker, you would have no clue that this was a slave plantation.
Yet it should, says Michalek, to reflect the reality of the Cibolo Valley in what was then a part of Bexar County. Plantations were drawn to Cibolo Creek as a source of water for their cotton or other crops, even cattle. Joseph Pauley's would be among the first of many to come.
Cotton planters came from Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and the Carolinas, intending to establish plantations in the image of the South.
Nearly 40 parcels along Cibolo Creek identified by LostTexasRoads.com show where the plantations were, who owned them, and how many were enslaved.
And Polly's just one. He's a medium-sized plantation of 20 or so slaves.
About a third were like the Polly's plantation, says the website's creator, historian Alan Cosson. He says the Cibolo Valley was as far as the plantations made it into the U.S. and one of the last places in the country where slavery existed.
So the significance of the Polly plantation and the other plantations along the
Cibolo is significant.
And we want to make sure that's part of the history we tell of the house.
A part worth telling is about one of the rooms off of the breezeways that go down the middle of the house. It's the bedroom where it said Robert E. Lee slept when he was a U.S. Army colonel before the Civil War.
If that's true, that's incredible.
The cookhouse is right there, so the enslaved people would bring the food from there to here.
Along with artifacts and antiques the Moshaliks acquired for what's become a museum, they also found Joseph Pauly's will.
Having each one Negro girl slave in their profession, giving an enslaved person to one of his daughters, each of his daughters, they get to choose.
Joseph Pauly is buried in the small family cemetery across the road from the mansion, leaving the Moshaliks to wonder.
Where are the graves of the enslaved that die?
African slaves were no longer property to be considered as wealth.
And what about after emancipation?
Where did they go? And we're finding all these freedmen colonies. Dozens of them are around us. We just want to know more about the enslaved people.
And this was this house. Wow.
Visiting the Pauly mansion for the first time, Pastor Ray Warren was surprised to see, among the enslaved identified so far, there they were, his wife's ancestors.
And their last name is right here, the Niases. Hers is right here. Right here. So yeah, I got some news for her.
A revelation that began with a couple's curiosity.
People don't meet us without hearing about this house.
And all the work they put into it for visitors to tour and learn.
We believe it's the first Thanksgiving in this room in 1854. A lot of this history would have been lost had we not preserved the house. This house will stand here easily for another 100 years. That's our contribution to the history of the great state of Texas.
In Wilson County, Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
And if you want to learn more about the history of the Whitehall Pauly Mansion, just scan the QR code on your screen. From there, you can also see more of our History Untold series.
Wow, I can't wait to talk to Jesse about this. And tomorrow on GMSA at 9, Jesse will be with us to talk more about this story. So we are truly looking forward to speaking with her.
Yes, we are. Time now is 9:39 and 84 degrees for now. You're watching GMSA at 9.
As we get closer to the second annual KSAT Pigskin Classic, we're previewing some of the big matchups. And still ahead, David Sears will be back to talk about Southside versus Somerset, which is the first game of the triple header on August 26th. We'll be back.
And welcome back. It's 9:43. Let's check on our flamingo friends at the San Antonio Zoo. And it looks like they're doing okay. One in the shade that we can see.
Right. We have a really smart one in the foreground and in the background, and the onlookers, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staying out of the sun. I don't blame them.
The one closest to us has got the whole shade area to himself. He's figured it out.
Were you here last week when we had that one Egyptian goose that was like looking right at the webcam?
Yes.
It was like staring into your soul.
When you were talking about him, he appeared. He's like, I can hear you, Mark.
And I saw some, what I think were Egyptian geese on the upper Guadalupe River this weekend. And I swear they gave me side-eye too. So I don't know what's going on here.
Well, you shouldn't be bad-mouthing them. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
How was the Guadalupe, by the way? Still
very low.
Yeah, very
low. I mean, at least there's water up near Kerrville and Comfort, but I mean, it is extraordinarily low. We need rain in the worst way. It's the understatement of the year.
It truly is, and I wish I could tell you there's some in the forecast. It's not. I think we all are prepared at this point for this long-term drought. But I do want to pass along that ERCOT has put out another weather watch today. What we have to be concerned with is how close that supply gets to the demand. We've been here before, probably be okay, but just be on the lookout. Right now, demand is forecast to be around 85.3 and supplies at about 89. So that's not a huge margin, I'll tell you that. It does get a little bit better next couple days. Looks like they get more energy online. And then Thursday is going to be another day where it gets a little bit close. So we'll keep track of that for you. So at the moment, though, everything looks to be okay. And here's why the grid will be taxed today, because you got all these big temperatures here south of a front. Now, north of that, as we discussed earlier, it is a little cooler. Forecast is a little cooler up around Amarillo and Lubbock. If you go south of that front, triple digits everywhere. And not only that, we're talking 105 plus in a lot of cases, and very humid too along the Texas coast. There is that front, few showers along it, West Texas. You got some showers and storms across parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas. This front basically puts on the brakes, doesn't really move. It sticks up there around North Texas, and so south of that is where you have all the excessive heat warnings and heat advisories. There's also a risk of severe weather along the front. So North Texas could see some storms, Denver, but the big story is going to be out east today. There is, on a scale of 1 to 5, it's about a 4. So there is a risk of widespread severe storms from about Roanoke, Virginia, up to the nation's capital today, and there could be some tornadoes involved here. This is up and down the East Coast. So as Mark mentioned earlier, this could cause some travel delays, some flight delays. If you're traveling, just know that, because when you get all these population centers involved with severe weather, it really does slow things down, not only there, but across the country. 83 Stinson, 79 right now. Kelly, 78 at Randolph. Forecast today, noontime 93. Sunny skies will be up around 105. I think at some point, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock, you could see a heat index as high as 107, and then it should level off. But the heat is no joke today. We still got to take it seriously, and it's going to be that way all week. Here's a look around the area. 105 Seguin, 103 Gonzales, 105 Floresville, 105 in Uvalde today. And as we look down the line, high pressure is not leaving. It just will not go away. Through Thursday, even Thursday and Friday, I think is when it kind of builds, maybe at its strongest. But it's still sticking around here, and I wish it would move one way or the other, but we're just not seeing that. So the extended forecast is a lot of the same. And we talked about it at 9, but the fire danger also continues. We don't have just a ton of gusty winds, but what we do have is very dry ground, a lot of fuel, and the fire danger is going to be a big issue next several days as well, guys.
Thank you, Justin. The KSAT Pigskin Classic 2023, presented by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers, is right around the corner.
Literally. It's a 2-day event, and the triple header kicks off with Southside and Somerset. David Sears, that's for the matchup on the 26th. David Sears is back to continue our previews of these matchups.
We ain't messing around. We got some of the best teams from last year playing this year. Remember, last year we had some of the best games all season long in the Pigskin Classic.
I mean, talk about a great way to start the season.
Man, so here we go. The Southside Cardinals are looking for a repeat season after they went 10-2 last year. They were undefeated in district, 8-0. Cardinals have 19 returning lettermen this season. Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine has named defensive tackle Aaron Abrego the preseason defensive MVP.
I mean, it was just an exciting opportunity, you know, like getting to play in the Alamo Dome. And I know we're fired up because last year things didn't turn out how we wanted them to, but I think we're more prepared this year. It's going to be great, you know, it's going to be a great atmosphere, pretty much, you know, and we're going to want everyone to come out and support. We're going to put on a show.
It's going to be fun, you know, Somerset. They like to talk, they like to bring it. It's gonna be a nice football atmosphere, you know. We're gonna go out there, want to hit heads, want to crack some skulls, you know, want to make some noise for the people to hear in the dome.
Now we're talking football. Hit some heads, crack some skulls. There we go.
Oh,
now we're getting there. The Somerset Bulldogs are looking for even more this coming season after they went 10-3 last year, 4-1 district record. Bulldogs made it all the way to the Class 4A Division I regional semifinals before losing to Corpus Christi Cal Allen. The Bulldogs have 18 returning lettermen. They have won their last 2 matchups with Southside, and they know what they have to do to get 3.
Well, me personally, I think I need to get more explosive and faster, and then just being a better leader for the team and setting a better example.
We just need to stay locked in. We need to stay together. We need to execute each play and just do what we have to do. Everybody does their assignment. We're going to come out with the win. Playing for Coach Demmer, it's really awesome. Well, he was in the NFL, ex-QB. He helps out us really a lot. He gives us the plays. We just got to go out and execute and do our jobs, and we come out with the win.
I'm sure they want to crack some skulls, too. A lot of skull cracking going on that day. It's going to be fun. So here's the lineup. Friday the 25th is Antonian and Holy Cross. We've got a pregame show starting at 6 o'clock during that newscast. Then on Saturday the 26th is the triple header. We begin at 11 a.m. with our pregame show leading into Southside and Somerset. Then it's Jefferson and Uvalde in the middle game. And then the primetime matchup, O'Connor and Brandeis. And now is your time to get your tickets for the KSAT Pigskin Classic. They're on sale, and you can find a link on KSAT.com. All of these games are taking place in the Alamo Dome, and if you aren't a KSAT insider, make sure to sign up because you can get the best seats in the house along with other perks. Just look for this story on our website. So what matchup are you guys looking forward to?
Steph?
Anyone?
No, it's hard to say. I do like that, you know, there's different districts this year. A lot of people get to participate. But what I found interesting was Friday nights. You called it, was it the Holy Bowl?
The Holy Bowl.
I've never heard of that before.
Maybe
That'll be interesting. On Friday.
Here's my only concern.
Yes, sir.
These kids are out practicing and it's 100 degrees, even 80 degrees. And I hope they don't catch cold when they come in at 72 degrees anymore.
They can't deal with the temperatures, right? So definitely
ooh, it's
change
chilly
of
in here.
pace.
I'll be looking for coats and jackets.
All that stuff. I'm looking forward to Jefferson versus Uvalde
That'd be
because
good.
I think anytime we can give Uvalde some extra love, it's a win.
For sure.
Yep.
Absolutely. And talk about an indoctrination in Texas high school football to have a new KSAT sports anchor being a part of this too, Mary Rominger.
Yeah.
I mean, what trial by fire. Let's get her in there from the frying pan to the fire.
She's going to be part of the big weekend.
Yes.
So a lot of us taking part in this thing. So it's huge.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your ticket, remember, it's a Saturday of high school football and you're indoors.
David, we don't want to leave you out. What are you looking forward to the most?
Just being there.
All of it.
So I'm actually going to get to do the color for the second game, the Uvalde Jefferson game. So I'm looking forward to that, but then be a part of all three of those games, and well, actually all four of them. So I'm just looking to get back into high school football. It's been a long time.
Let's go.
Love it.
You're ready too. You ready to crack skulls and
crack some skulls, baby? Bam!
No, none of that for you though.
Some slobber knocking going on.
That too.
Oh goodness.
David, thank you. 9:51, 85 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Temperatures right now are warming up into the mid 80s, triple digits all week long. You know, we have that high fire danger too, so we got to be really careful out there. These temperatures probably even go a little higher by Thursday and Friday.
Okay, right now on KSAT.com, we have an article of things to do in our area before this summer is over.
So this is the last week for people to check out the Disney Immersive Exhibit near downtown. It's an interactive experience with all our favorite Disney characters. The last day to check that out is Sunday.
Okay, Steph, if you're a Jersey Shore fan, you can still have DJ Pauly D's appearance at the 1902 nightclub to look forward to. That's taking place next Thursday, not this Thursday, Steph. Next Thursday, that is the 17th. Mark your calendar.
I actually missed all of that. I'm not familiar. I mean, I know who he is, but anyway, not a huge fan. For a look at all the other events still coming up as summer winds down, just head over to KSAT.com.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on here, including stuff in our outlying area, including the Gillespie County Fair and something going on in Junction. Where was that? Oh yeah, Junction Rodeo is coming up. That's going to be a hot one. It's August 11th and 12th, so right around the corner.
A hot time of year for that as well. You guys have a great Monday.